Are we going now? Because I don't know what's going on. Right. Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here and giving this video a watch. You're gonna have to excuse how I sound. I am fighting through a cold, which for some reason has absolutely just had my life this week. But yeah, if I sound funny, that is why. I feel like I sound really nasally. It keeps making me want to cough and I can't breathe properly through my nose, so yeah, we're just not having a great time. I feel like it needs to be tilted down. But every time I do that, this stupid thing, I don't know. I'm super excited about today's video because we're going to be answering some questions. When I say we are, I am going to be answering some questions that you've asked. I cannot talk right now. I asked you guys to ask me some questions on my Instagram and you did. I suppose we can just jump straight into it because I don't really have anything else to say. Other than I'm having like a nightmare. I feel like I don't know, I've changed like location and I feel like I can't get the camera right and this chair is uncomfortable to like chill on. Like it's such a nice chair, but like why am I here now? Like, what's going on? But then if I come any closer, I'm like, I can't move the tripod any further that way because I've dumped everything that's on the bed in that corner. Like this, yeah. Quite chill. Okay, let's just get into this YouTube video now because I have been faffing about for way too long. I wanted to have a little chat with you all, just a bit of a like get to know me, I suppose, in a way. I've asked you guys to ask me some questions that I'm going to answer. And yeah, we're just going to go through them and you can have a little insight into my life. So, without further ado, how has dry January been for you and will this impact your drinking habits going forward? So, dry January has been unreal. I have loved every single second of it. I absolutely love a glass of wine. Like, I cannot beat a cold glass, a Sauvignon or a Pinot, like, chef's kiss. But in December, guys, I don't even know what happened. Like, came off holiday in November. I went to Cape Verde for a week and I had 1 week of just full on eating and drinking as you do when you go to an all-inclusive holiday. Beautiful place, loved it, but I just felt so shit and I felt so bloated when I came home as well. So I signed up with my coach who I've got now, and then it was December and I must have had like a plan every other day in December. I've never had a busier month in my life. I feel like I did it on purpose as well because I was kind of worrying about being alone or like for Christmas, like being single. So I thought, right, I need to just like hammer the plans in there. So I was very, very busy, but do you know what? It was great and it was worth it. However, I feel like I have never eaten as much in my entire life. Yeah, I got on the scales in January and I was like, fuck's sake. And then on the first week of January, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I had ulcers all in my mouth. That was so painful. I could just feel like my skin was breaking out. I just felt awful. My mood was low. I thought, dry Jan, you are calling my name. It actually made me realise that I don't really need to drink during the week now because I used to love a glass of wine on a weeknight. Don't really need to do that anymore. I'm just going to keep it to like a weekend, and even then I am going to try and lay off it because I feel like it just makes my weekends so much more productive when I'm not drinking if I don't need to. So it has been a really, really good month. Mortgage process as self-employed / single applicant, please. Well, this was a journey. So yeah, I do have a mortgage on my own. It is very achievable. I mean, number one, guys, I live in the north and house prices are definitely more affordable for what I'm paying here. I don't even know if you could get anything down south for it, to be fair. It was okay. I mean, I had a big deposit, which helps. So the more like deposit you can get, the better, really. I even looked into shared ownership at the time because I was like, I don't know like what I can afford. Got in touch with a mortgage advisor. He is brilliant. If anyone wants me to like leave his details, just comment below and I will leave them because he is so good and he was really on it, and you didn't pay him, he just took commission out of whatever. So he was just brilliant. I really, really, really liked him, and I will use him again when I need to. So you give them all obviously your income and then the lenders will come back and say this is how much we'd comfortably allowed to borrow. It wasn't impossible at all, and to get the mortgage itself, it wasn't hard. I was starting to worry at some point because as I am on my own, and at the time my income went off my old job, for self-employed to count you need at least like, I don't know what it is, like a year or 2 years on the books, and I had not had that at that point. My mortgage just went off the income of my old job. It was going to be very, very difficult for me to like have a wide range of houses to choose from just for what I could like afford. So yeah, it wasn't the easiest ever, but you know, I could still get a mortgage. Lenders would lend to me. It was still very much available for me, but just when it comes to like the amount of houses available was very small, basically. Just because obviously things are expensive now. The housing market is like expensive. And also things were getting snatched up really quickly as well. It is relentless when you're looking for a house. I'm sure if you've done it, you'll know. So yeah, I came and viewed this house, and I remember the day, because I remember I looked at this house on Rightmove. It caught my eye, and then I just scrolled by it because I looked at the location, and because it needed some work doing, I was like, no, it's not worth it to live in that location. But actually when I looked on the maps, it wasn't where I thought it was. It was in like obviously a nicer area than where I thought it was initially. So I was like looking at it and I was like, oh my God, this seems perfect. I had a list of things it needed and it was ticking every single box. It was very in my like budget. So I booked it, I booked a viewing for the next day. My dad and his partner came, we looked around, and I'd had quite a few house viewings at this point. But this one, I just had a feeling inside and I was like, this ticks every single box. Like it just ticks every box. I offered there and then, and she accepted it for £2,000 less than asking. It'd already been reduced as well, so it'd been reduced even more. So I actually got it for quite a good bargain, really, and I could not be any happier with it. So yeah, I just think it is very much doable. If you want my mortgage advisor's details, comment below. He will do his very best to find you lenders that will lend to you. You can then have a look to see how much that they're willing to give you. That will then give you your idea of what houses and what sort of like price you can go to. It wasn't impossible. I didn't find that bit difficult. The only bit I found difficult was the amount of houses available. That was sort of worrying me because I was like, you don't really get much for the price I paid these days. That's actually nice. In a nice place. I was very, very lucky to drop on this one. Guys, I'm struggling talking here. What a day to pick to do a YouTube video on, like. So what solo trips have you got planned? You inspired me to book one with my cocker. That is so cute. There's nothing better. There is nothing better than taking your little dog away for a weekend away somewhere. It is the most ideal thing. I would do it every single weekend if I could. But I have got some news. I have finally booked my first ever solo trip abroad. It is booked. It's in the diary. I am so excited. Nobody knows this yet. I've been looking all January and I saw one and I was like, do you know what? I think you've just got to do it. I think when you see one and you think, reasonable, just fucking book it and just get it done, because I thought I'm just gonna like, I keep looking and the prices keep changing and I'll just get overwhelmed. Like, just get one booked in, done. So I go in July, which is middle of summer, so it's gonna be absolutely roasting. I have only done it for 3 nights because I've never been abroad on my own before, so I wanted it to just be a short and sweet trip just in case I hate it. I highly doubt I will, but just in case something happened or I just felt absolutely like didn't like anything or whatever, I knew that I was only there for 3 nights and I think that just makes me feel better. It isn't like the mornings or the afternoons or the daytime or anything that I'm worried about. Like, I can't wait to just have like the morning and day to either like sunbathe or go and explore or go and have like a cocktail in like a nice bar, like on the beachfront. I don't mind doing any of that on my own. It's the evenings that are like worrying me the most because I don't really want to go out. I don't really like the thought of getting dressed up and then going out on my own. Makes me feel weird. I don't know whether it's because I feel awkward, like if I'm just sat in a bar on a night time on my own, like I feel like I might be a bit vulnerable as well. It is a shame as a woman that I do feel vulnerable to not be able to just go out on my own on a night time in a foreign country, but I don't really feel very safe doing so. Malaga was really recommended to me by a lot of people. I joined a solo traveller group thing as well and everyone said Malaga is like perfect. It's a short flight for me from the UK, so it's not going to take long to get there, which was another thing. If I'm going for 3 nights, I want to go somewhere that's like less than 3 hours to get to. They're really good flight times, that was the other thing. You're straight off on the morning and then you're back in mid-afternoon. So I was like, this just seems to tick every single box. Obviously Malaga is a city, but it's also got a beach, and the hotel has got a rooftop pool. So I've got like the best of both worlds in every sense there. Like, I can sit around the pool and sunbathe because it's going to be really hot, and I can also have a like walk into the city. It's next to like a big shopping centre, so I can go shopping. Like, there's loads of things I can be doing. So yeah, it's not until July, so it's quite a few months away yet, but I'm very excited that I've just booked it and done it. Like, I can't even believe that. That is going to probably be like the one of the first, because if I love it, I do want to try and maybe get like another one in by the end of the year, but we'll see. We'll just see. We'll do it one step at a time first. So I've also obviously not forgotten about my little Benny boy. Me and him are going to go away this year as well. But I saw something come up, I had an email, and it was basically a night away in Scarborough, which is like one of my favourite little seaside towns ever on the East Coast. I absolutely love it. That's where I feel so like nostalgic. I feel like I've just gone there so many times growing up. And an email came through saying that there was like an offer for like a really cheap overnight stay in a gorgeous hotel with like, this hotel looks amazing, by the way. I've never seen it in Scarborough before. It's very pet friendly hotel, and you got like B&B, you got bed, breakfast, and you got coffee and cake and a cocktail. Obviously not all at once, but you got all of that included for this like bargain price. I was like, this sounds like a sign. That is coming next. I'm going to vlog that trip when I go, and I'm going to actually like, you know, just me and Bennett, we're going to go for a nice walk. I'm going to call it like a pub with him on my own. And yeah, we're just going to really like embrace the little solo trips this year. So keep your eye out for that one. But other than that, I don't know. There'll be more solo trips in there. I'm going to make the most of it this year. How did you deal with the first couple of months after a breakup? I'm really struggling daily. I didn't deal at all. Breakups, you just, for the first couple of weeks, guys, you genuinely just need to, why is that saying 4 minutes? What does that mean? But yeah, I think for the first few like months of the breakup, if you are going through one, you just need to grieve. You need to just don't even try and feel better. Like, if you don't feel good, just don't feel good. Allow yourself the time to sit and just cry and watch sad films and eat the chocolate and just indulge in self-care. Go and buy yourself some new clothes. Like, go and spend money on getting your hair done. Try your best to just relish in being sad. I know that sounds really like bad advice, but it's true. You need to try and let it all out. One of my favourite quotes is, the only way out is through. And that to me is like, when you're faced with like a life-changing event or a traumatic event or something that's like just totally made your world come crashing down, the only way out of that is through it. You can't go over it and avoid feeling anything at all. You can't just like go around it. You can't just pretend it's not there and try and go a different way. Unfortunately, when something shit happens, you have to just go fucking through it. You have to go through the shit that's thrown at you. You have to go through the tears, and you have to go through all of those horrible emotions. You have to feel it all. That is your way out, and that is the only way out. No matter what it is, heartbreak, grief, anything, you have to unfortunately feel it all to go through it. And also, guys, don't forget, like, this is all part of being human. You cannot get the good times and the happy times without feeling the bad and the hurt, because we wouldn't know any different. If we never had heartbreak or upset or grief or hurt, we wouldn't know how good it feels to be happy and to be like loved, and we wouldn't get the good things without any of the bad. So, are you an only child? If so, how do you deal with being a carer and the toll mentally? Yes, I am an only child. I do not have any siblings. I do have cousins, but I am an only child, and my mum and dad divorced. So it is just me with my mum. And for those that don't know, my mum is terminally ill. She has got something called Huntington's disease. It's genetic. I got tested to see if I had it. I don't. It took 2 years to find out whether I had it or not, which was the worst. I just had to find out because I thought I can't carry on not knowing. Best day of my life, 4th of August, 20... Is that my memory card, that? For fuck's sake. I barely even videoed out on here. My memory card was flashing at me, telling me I had no minutes left on it. But we have rectified that now. Anyway, I never thought I'd be in this position, really, of like my mum being terminally ill and having to look after her. And it's such a complex, complicated disease as well. It's so rare. Nobody's heard of it. No one really knows how to deal with it. It's just, it is a lot, and it takes its toll mentally big time. Like, I'm not kidding, it really does. For me, it's not just about like navigating the logistics of caring for somebody and having to sort out like meetings with like social workers and filling out forms and ringing people and got benefits and doing all this, that and the other. It's also dealing with like my mum and her behaviours, making sure that she's okay. It's dealing with that side of it and dealing with her changing. You know, I can't rely on her now for things that a daughter would rely on the mum for because of the illness. Like, that's what it makes it hard. But also, it's the grieving. Like, I think everyone forgets that throughout all of this, like, dealing with the technical side of things and just making sure all these things are in place and she's okay, that I have to deal with watching my mum deal with a terminal illness, and I have to watch her, like, deteriorate over time, and I have to, like, grieve my mum, and it's all on my shoulders because there is just me. So I do find it really, really tough, but I never feel sorry for myself because I have to get on with it. There's times when I want to just not deal with it. I want to throw the toy out the pram. I just want to think no, but I get on with it because I know I need to get on with it, and I know I need to be strong, and I know I need to make sure that my mum's okay. That's my main priority, is making sure that she's all right. I will just, you know, deal with my own shit when I need to. When I do spend so much time caring for my mum and looking after my mum, it is really, really difficult, and you forget about yourself, and that's what I did at Christmas. I totally neglected myself, and I just ended up like paying for it because I just felt so crap. I just got on with it because it's my mum, and I want to do anything I can in my power whilst I can to make sure that she's happy and that she's okay. And there is just me, and I've come to terms with that now. Like, I have to just suck it up and get on with it, no matter how I feel, no matter how upset I feel. But I love my mum to bits, and she is the most strongest person I've ever met, and you know, we do still have that mother-daughter bond, and we always will, and she's always going to be my mum. One of them things, I suppose. So, do you feel like you're do you feel like you're completely over your breakup, and are you ready to settle down with someone new? I don't know how to word this one. No and no. Number one, I'm absolutely not ready to settle down with anybody or to meet anybody. I saw myself marrying my ex. 8 years is a long time. You know, when you're in that, the rest of your life is planned out with that person. I just think that if it's still in my head that I still can't picture that being with anyone else, then I clearly am not ready to welcome somebody else into my life. I'm not looking, I'm not dating, I'm actively not dating, I'm not downloading dating apps. I mentioned before, I downloaded them for like 3 days and deleted them because they are absolute hell. I do not gel with dating apps at all. The idea of dating is more appealing than the actual reality of dating, I think. So yeah, I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to settle down. I'm not ready to share like my space with anyone else. I'm not ready to do any of that with nobody else. Like, when I tell you, this year for me is about me in the least selfish way, but it's just about career goals. I want to do these like solo trips, and I'm just like getting into like my little swing of living on my own. This time last year, I was only just going through the breakup. And then 6 months ago, I was only just moving in here. So I want this year to just be like a full year of just good vibes and just focusing on getting myself to the absolute happiest, healthiest, just best version that I've ever been in my entire life, because I have not put this much energy into myself since I was born. Probably. When I say that, like, if something came along, right, and I was like, wow, and it all felt right and it happened like naturally, I wouldn't go, no, fuck you, not fucking speaking to you, see you later. I wouldn't do that. Like, I am willing to go along with that. If something came along, then yeah. I'm not like, fuck, no, don't look at me, don't talk to me. I'm just, no, I'm not like that. If something came along, I would explore it, but I'm just not looking. I could have just said that. I could have just said that about fucking 5 minutes ago, and we would have just cut out all that in between. But you know, to get to the point, I'm not looking at all for a relationship, but if one came to me in my life, I would explore it. That's where I'm with dating. Very single, guys, right now. I can't even actually probably explain to you how single I actually am. I may as well still be in a long-term relationship. That's how single I am. I love it. I absolutely love it that way. I really love it that way. I I can't tell you all how much I am loving this era of my life right now. Loving it. I am thriving in my like living alone, single girl era in your mid-20s. Like fucking hell, I think I was made to do this. I am thriving. Thriving. I'm romanticising fucking everything at the minute, but when I'm going out with my friends, right, I just love like the getting ready at my house, like my music's on downstairs, my wine's poured, I'm just living my best life. Not just that, but like I love just having this like space that is completely mine. Like, oh, it's just the best feeling. I listen to music 24/7 from the minute I wake up to the minute I go like turn it off to watch TV on in the evening. That speaker is on. If I'm working from home, that music is on consistently. I listen to Radio 1 all the time. It just keeps me company. I love it, and I don't know what I'd do without having that, because it just, I love having that on, like the background noise, and listening to songs and listening to like the radio and stuff. Just, I feel like this year is full of opportunity. I've never felt like this before with like the start of the year, but I feel like I'm looking at it and all I'm seeing is like opportunity and just exciting things that are going to happen, because last year was very much just starting again. This year, I've done all the hard shit now. I've got through the bad times. I'm now looking at a fresh year of just pure fucking opportunity, and it's such a good feeling. Like, I deserve this shit. I fucking deserve it. That went off topic very quickly. Going back to the original question about dating if I'm over my ex, and I said no. And do you know what? I do not care. I will put that out there. Like, I'm not. Because it was fucking hard for me. They actually do say it takes half the time you're with someone to get over them, which would be 4 years. That is absolutely soul crushing to hear, to be fair. I'm a year down, 3 to go. Woo. No, in all seriousness, I am very happy now, guys. I am happier than I was this time last year. I am so content in who I am. I'm so content in like my career now. I have just poured so much love and just time and energy into myself, and I'm still continuing to do that. I am falling in love with like life again. Like, I've never worked on myself this much before. I just feel like I'm getting so like happy and like giddy, and I've just got this excitement back in my life again. I'm still processing the breakup. It still is my Roman Empire at the minute. I think about it often, think about my old life quite a bit. I'm still going through it, even though I'm in a much happier place. I'm still like going through the motions of that. But even though I'm still navigating those feelings, like it keeps getting easier. And even though I do still get sad about it, I do still get upset about it, and I do still feel a certain type of way about it, I'm still like the best version of myself that I've been in years. And I'm still working towards things that I probably wouldn't have even dreamt of doing a year ago. So, you know, it's swings and roundabouts, as they say. Right, I think that is probably enough for the questions, because I cannot breathe through my nose at this moment in time, and it is stressing me out. We've covered a bit there. We've covered solo trips, we've covered solo living, we've covered like heartbreak. Okay, I am going to be waving goodbye to January and February. A new month is soon upon us. I am so excited for Feb, because we have got so many exciting things happening in February. So I'm getting a new garden fence. Woo! I bet someone's watching this thinking, are you okay? I'm so excited. I'm getting new decking as well, which is great. I want to make it into like a patio. Like, you know, like if you went to like a Greek restaurant and you were sat outside, that's the vibe I want. I mean, I am sat in the middle of West Yorkshire and it's very great. So probably not going to achieve that goal, but I can try. There's a lot of exciting things happening. A lot of exciting work things happening. A lot of exciting life things, house things. Just lots of things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's YouTube video. Thank you for asking me the questions. If you have any further questions, pop them in the comments below and I will answer them for you. Don't forget to like this video. Please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Turn the notifications on so you don't miss anything. Love you all. Bye.